Hello everyone and welcome back to a new list video. It's time to talk about the good stuff, and in this one I'm gonna mention my favorite 50 songs of 2023. This is the list where I'm gonna talk about the songs that I listened to and I got addicted to the most in 2023. Obviously this is just my opinion, and also once again for the sake of not having many tracks out of the same artist, this list is gonna contain one track per artist. With all that being said, let's get into the list. First of all though, we're gonna talk about 5 honorable mentions, and at first we have Amnesia Scanner and Fricatet with the track Cat, a nasty, industrial and deconstructed club banger with a great melodic switch up at the second half. Next up is Neuromancer with Neuromantica, a beautiful throwback to the 80s with a great synthwave instrumental song, nice synths and just overall really ethereal and catchy. Up next is Erotic Electronic by Slater, one of the darker and more energetic electropop tracks out of her new album, sexual, hedonistic and overall a short, straightforward song. Youngblood surprised me once again making another solid song with Oli Sykes of Bring Me The Horizon. With a drum and bass approach to the beat, this is such a euphoric and fun song to listen to. Switching tones at the end of the honorable mentions, we have Eat the Acid by Kesha, my favorite idea out of her new album, a dark and deeply personal work with emotional deliveries, creative looped vocals and powerful minimal instrumentation. Now, getting into the list, at number 50 is M87 by Silent Servant. Great throwback to old school electronics with a minimal and repetitive approach, solid industrial instrumentation and melancholic synth additions. Very cool idea. At number 49 is Full of Hell and Nothing with Rose Tainted World, or an insanely brutal sludge metal opener. Instantly hooks you in, leaves a strong impression, and at the second half it constantly builds up on clean guitars and speed samples that devolves into collage chaos and ending with noise. What a killer song. At number 48 is Pearls by Jessie Ware. If Free Yourself wasn't a 2022 single, it would be extremely high up on the list, but the album had other highlights, such as Pearls, a last disco track filled with passion and groove. Very beautiful sounds on that one. Number 47 is Foo Fighters with the track Under You, one of the main singles out of their new album. It's a powerful, noisy and passionate alternative rock track containing a familiar formula and songwriting but done exceptionally well. At number 46 is Like to Complicate by Snow Strippers. Quite a few notable highlights from the duo this year, but my favorite has to be this one. Cool repetitive melodies and a nocturnal aesthetic and production style that fits with what Witch House was doing when it started becoming popular. Number 45 is Field Operations, the main track out of the album that showcases the strengths and capabilities of both Genocide Organ and Prurient, a rich sampling that leads to a chaotic mechanical mess alongside looped noise sections. It's a dark and heavy death industrial track that will constantly have you at the edge of your seat. At number 44 is The Parasite by Swans. What a tone setter, an incredible dark and minimal 8-minute neo-folk song to prepare you for what's to come next. Production and performances once again have something uniquely special to them, and this is one of the most striking moments out of The Beggar. Number 43 is Subfocus featuring Metric with the track Trip. What a way to start the album with such a catchy and nice sounding drum and bass song. Shame that the rest of the album doesn't have the same amount of quality, but at least we got one really cool drum and bass song right here. Number 42 is Lil Uzi Vert with Suicide Doors. Yes, Lil Uzi Vert made it to both the best and the worst songs list of this year. Pink Tape was a mess, Suicide Doors emerges from the trend of rage, and they do it better than some of the main names that started this whole thing. This is one of the best rage bangers, and the production from Arca is the cherry on top. Number 41 is Portrayal of Guilt with the chaotic, avant-garde, wacky black metal / hardcore 2-minute mayhem that is untitled. Definitely the most impressive moment structurally out of their new EP. At number 40 is Aphex Twin's Black Box Live Recorder 21F, a laid-back song with its bigger strengths actually being the ambient synths rather than the complex drumming in my opinion. Still overall a very creative and well-paced song. Number 39, Limewax's Rare Beat goes back to the roots with an intense skullstep song containing some of the greatest strengths of Limewax as a producer throughout his career. The percussion, production and overall sound choices are top notch, still proving that Limewax is one of the best in darkstep. At number 38 is Seasickness by In Eternam Veil. Very interesting sound choices in this minimal and repetitive techno song. There's something odd about the way it feels, it's kinda hard to describe, but I know for sure that I'm fascinated by it. Number 37 is Cha-Cha Fight, the finisher of the debut album by Taitsu. Probably an unexpected choice as a deep cut at the end of the album, but this is the one that did it for me. From its transition from soothing synths to insane deconstructed club with amazing sounds and crazy structures, this caught me by surprise. It sounds wacky as fuck and I love its oddity. Number 36 is Mental Paralysis by Bluetooth North, another track that captures amazingly this horrifying Lovecraftian aesthetic that Bluetooth North have mastered with their latest releases. Once again, stunning riffs, crazy avant-garde drumming, the whole formula is here and works masterfully. Keeping up with the metal stuff, at number 35 we have Solen by Auster, a beautiful lengthy atmospheric black metal track which has some of the most gorgeous riffs I've heard all year. Nice pacing and stunning instrumentation, it sounds really nice. At number 34, the longest track on this list is Destroy Chemical Weapons by Vatican Shadow. Incredible use of minimal percussion and analog synths in a 21-minute monster of a song. Just sit back and let it flow, it's an extraordinary dark experience. At number 33 is Rock do MC Go, I don't know how to pronounce it, by d.Silvestre. Absolutely wacky baked bruxaria track, a Brazilian funk subgenre which is known for its ridiculous amount of distortion. It's really loud, noisy and sounds completely unhinged. Number 32 is Chase and Status featuring Headaches and RD on the track Liquor and Cigarettes. This is my most recent grower, like this was not so high prior to completing this list, but my goodness, what an addictive drum and bass song. This is basically jump up at its finest, with cooler up deliveries, insane drops, and the production is just fantastic, unbelievably catchy song. Number 31, with the second longest track on this list, is Ponomarev Obrazina Massacre with Alex Bues on the track chanting the resonances of atrocity. What to even say about this one? Almost 18 minutes filled with creative IDM beats, obscure drone guitars and avant-garde jazz sections. A plethora of sounds while still keeping a main identity throughout its entirety. This is one of the most underrated things I've discovered and it's a trip that's worth your attention. Number 30 is Burn Everything to Cinder by Submerged, a brutal darkstep track unleashing some of the most relentless drumming alongside with intense growls, masterfully capturing the essence of a darkstep song with its relentless energy and haunting atmosphere, complemented by various imaginative sounds throughout the track. Yeah, this sounds sick. At number 29, State of Mind and Black Sun Empire collaborate once again to bring us one of the greatest drum and bass songs of the year, as to be expected. Modern Propaganda is proof that their sound is timeless, and they are amongst the best on creating catchy, dark and melodic drum and bass bangers, and this might be one of the best songs they've made together, which honestly says a lot. Number 28 is Running Out of Time by Lil Yachty, a very surprising change up in sounds and styles that has actually worked really nice. This song right here is an incredible groovy and funky track with great bass lines, vocal deliveries, and I especially like the synths out of this one. Such a fun song to listen to. At number 27 is Anna Funk Damage with the track You're My Dog, one of the most unknown projects on this list that I found out of nowhere. If you're looking for a ferocious and raw industrial post-punk track, look no further than this gem right here. Minimal bass synths with heavy effects on vocals and awesome additional electronic sounds, this is a blast of a song with its dark and twisted attitude. At number 26 we have one of the most experimental tracks on this list, and that's Les Sociétés des Rêves, I don't know how to pronounce it, by Black to Come. An outstanding minimal drone piece accompanied with multiple kids vocal samples and various noisy industrial sounds that come and go. Kinda unsettling and ominous, very abstract and extremely creative, making for a quite imaginative collage of sounds that works more of like an art piece rather than a song that follows a standard formula. Very compelling experience. Getting halfway towards the list at number 25 is Ask Nico with the track Worms. Quite different in comparison to what the rest of the album did, or for Ask Nico in general, but this more laid back, emo rap and pop reggae approach, not only did it work surprisingly well, but this is one of the most addictive songs I've heard from them. Pleasantly surprised by how much I enjoyed this one in particular. At number 24 is Karia, the true winner of last year's Eurovision, collaborating with Tommy Cash on the track It's Crazy, It's Party. Very similar to Cha Cha Cha, although I'd say this is even more of a fun transcore song for me. The Tommy Cash feature, I might say, is actually my least favorite aspect of the song. It's short and the vulgar themes feel out of place, but this is such a party anthem, incredibly catchy and with nice beat switch ups towards the end. Number 23 is Moth by Utsu-P. This is the best the Hatsune Miku vocals have ever sounded like, in a phenomenal industrial and trap metal song with great chorus, intense and powerful sounds, and some sick breakdowns at the end. One of my most listened to songs of the year. It goes so hard. Number 22 is Am Anfang war Licht by Black Color. I could pick so many great songs out of this album, but let's go with the impressive starting point, a nice touch of old school electronic sounds with stellar industrial beats and analog type synths, really effective in its minimalism and simplicity on making such a spectacular melodic EBM and industrial techno track that is worth your attention. At number 21 is Nirvana by Giovanna. Incredible moody synth-pop song keeping some of the greatest elements that you can find from the latest works of Cellophane. Expressive vocals, gorgeous minimal synths, and one of the most emotionally powerful tracks you can find in the genre this year. At number 20, we have a game soundtrack, and that's from Hi-Fi Rush, with a track Through the Halls of History. When it comes to the original soundtrack, this gem from Mario was the most notable work, with its change-ups, catchy melodies and various phases that the track captures nicely even outside of the context of the game. The track has very strong Persona 5 vibes, so if you like the music of Persona 5 you're gonna love this one. It's groovy, it's funky, blending rock with classical instrumentation, and it's an extremely fun listen. Number 19 is Larry with In Water, one of the most exceptional drum and bass songs I've discovered out of nowhere this year, with great dark and mysterious atmosphere, very creative use of its drum patterns and futuristic soundscapes, top-notch production and sound choices that make it such a standout moment of this year for me. At number 18 is Linecraft with Death Wish, one of the best on creating anxiety-inducing death industrial gems, and this one is so harsh and intense, starting off with some unsettling screams and then constantly progressing with monotone drony bass synths while you have industrial junk sounds looping time and time again. It's a twisted sound that demolishes you for 7.5 minutes straight, and it's so captivating in its execution. Number 17 is What a Surprise by Orbital featuring The Little Pest. If Dirty Rat was released in 2023 instead of 2022, it would be really high up on the list. But still, Optical Delusion had some great standouts, such as What a Surprise, one of the most unique tracks out of the album, and for Orbital standards as well, as it's this really chaotic blend of various sounds attached to a trap beat and spoken word type vocals. It's quite bizarre and a really intriguing direction of sounds blending together in a unique and fascinating way. Number 16 is Reverend Christine Michael Hater with I'm Getting Out While I Can. If the unsettling sounds alongside with the multiple layers of vocals are not enough to disturb you, then the constant tape manipulations are going to keep you at the edge of your seat. One of the most challenging songs out of this list, giving you the impression that the recording deteriorates in real time. Outside of the experimentations though, the main idea by itself is outstanding, so all of the abrupt parts only add to an already great song. At number 15 is Black Box Fatal Fate Part 1 Monolith by Wargent Girlfriend and another name that I don't know how to pronounce. Is it Krasny? I don't really know, but whatever. Originally released back in 2022, but in the context of this album, it's separated in two parts with a few Abbott inclusions at the beginning, which makes for an improved version that I'll gladly put on the list. There is a lot to unpack here. It's a bizarre, glitchy track with a lot of abrupt transitions that become a deconstructed club banger alongside with micro sound, and then it has moments of complete silence, vocal manipulations, it's a lot happening and it's a pretty challenging listen. Also, very bold choice to put 3 parts with loud, extremely high frequencies and keep them for so long, like they go for about 20 seconds. This is going to throw off a lot of listeners. I find it to be another fascinating aspect of the sheer absurdity of the song, one of the craziest collages of sounds I've experienced in recent memory. At number 14 we have I Got It with Debbie Friday featuring Unas. One of the most pumped up electro-industrial bangers to come out, hedonistic deliveries with great chemistry from both artists, non-stop energy, great beats, great synths, and absolute blast of a song from start to finish. No need for more rambling about such a simplistic catchy song, just listen to it. At number 13, Goji makes such a gorgeous future garage song with Then We Stood Still. Stellar production, melodic ethereal atmosphere, insane bass, and the inclusion of the blow instrument at the second drop gives me shivers. It sounds so good. They outdid themselves with this one. It sounds marvelous and euphoric. Number 12 is Zina by Skrillex featuring Nia Barghouti. Quite a few standouts out of the new stuff from Skrillex, but nothing tops the sheer amount of creativity from Zena. An experimentation that pays off with hybrid rap and jungle terror, opening up new territories in which Skrillex sounds more mature and better than ever before as a producer. The percussion sounds absolutely insane, the vocal feature works really well, and my god, the production is stunning. To top this all off, the unexpected techno transition to the third drop is just superb. At number 11 is Rocky Reaper with Kendro de Anderson, a track that I didn't expect to get this high into the list, but from the moment I listened to it, I couldn't stop but just returning to it over and over again. Unexpected considering it's one of the deep cuts out of the album that didn't get any attention, but I'm a sucker of this chord progression, in love with the beat and vocal switch up halfway through, just obsessed with everything this track does. It's one of those moments where I don't expect people to understand where I'm coming from, but I can't explain why. I just love everything about this song. And now we're at the top 10, in which we start with BDSM for Satisfaction by Grausame Tochter. The self-titled introduction out of the new album keeps proving why they're one of the greatest industrial and EDM groups on creating vulgar and hedonistic dark club anthems that are worth of more attention. Nasty synths ranging from dark to aggressive, odd manipulated vocals, which they are known for, and overall just one of the best electro-class songs they have created in recent memory. Number 9 is Spicy by aespa. I wouldn't expect a K-pop song to land this high on the list, but this happened in 2023. But let's be honest, this is crazy good. The very professional production and vocal performances was to be expected, but this electropop instrumental goes so hard, undoubtedly one of the songs I listened to the most in 2023. I just couldn't get enough of it. At number 8, Cobra makes a spectacular hedonistic hip house banger with feminine energy. It sounds dark and twisted, Cobra's vocals feel like they're crawling inside my body, the haunting additions towards the end sound really fitting, and this instrumental sounds rich, intense, and makes me wanna dance non-stop. It's one of the best songs I've heard from Cobra. At number 7 is Stereo Nova with Duna. The Greek electronic duo prove once again that they're the kings on combining dark electronic music with incredibly catchy beats. And this is easily the most creative song they have created out of this new era. Glitchy vocal samples and industrial soundscapes come together to fill this multi-layered two-phase track, dark and twisted with superb sound design, mark this as one of the best instrumentals Stereo Nova have put out in a while. At number 6 is Scaring the Hoes by JPEG Mafia and Danny Brown. When it comes to hip hop in 2023, it doesn't get more creative than this. Like, wow, what an imaginative idea. The beat for a big portion of the song is just clap sounds. That's it. They rap to clap sounds accompanied with a weird saxophone part whose range becomes unhinged, and then you have this explosive drumming and bass that elevate this to a whole other level. I don't know how you come up with stuff like this. When it comes to hardcore and experimental hip hop, this is exceptional. Number 5 is The Chemical Brothers with Live Again featuring Hollow Mud. Another track that I've listened to a lot out of this year, and by far the greatest moment out of the album, like it carries the whole thing. incredible throwback to big beat with a heavily psychedelic sound, one of the most uplifting songs to come out in 2023, layered with so many superb sound directions that make it so much worth revisiting again and again and again. At number 4 is Freak Mode by Dora and Electra. A couple seconds snippet was enough to make me super excited about this, and I wouldn't even mind if the entire track was just the chorus playing over and over again, because it's that good. A more of an alternative metal direction out of this one, with sick, punchy riffs, and some of the craziest vocal ranges I've heard in a Dora and Electra song. I instantly fell in love with this track. It's so pumped up and hard hitting and so wacky and expressive, as I have so much fun with it when it plays. Number 3 is DJ Ramemes with Sentado na Glock Rajada. I'm still in shock that something like this exists. It's one of the most surreal songs I've been addicted to this year. Brazilian funk with fast tempo, a constant barrage of glitch vocals, insane distorted bass drops, and this part with the wobbly bass, the vocal effects, the beats, it just sounds unreal. Completely unhinged, refreshing and one of a kind, the energy of this song is unmatched. Number 2. Current Value does it once again with the track Monster. This might be the most mind-blowing track he has done this decade. The track starts with one of the best introductions and drops I've heard in recent Current Value tracks. The build-up with the rapping is insane, and the change-up with the more melodic parts on the second half just masterful, and then the rest of it is just neurofunk onslaught. Like, some of these sounds are so nasty. How does he do it? Insane production, absolutely insane. I am once again amazed by the sheer talent of this producer. After all of those years, he's still going strong, and my god, what a track this is. And finally, number 1, the greatest song of 2023 in my opinion, goes to Hello Kitty by Alice Longyugao. This is easily one of the most unique and most refreshing songs I've heard, period. Like, this blend of sounds is unheard of. In less than 3 minutes, you're going to get avant-garde metal, art punk, polka, dark cabaret, and musette, and all of it works perfectly. Alongside sounds of car horns and cartoon sound effects, the structures, the pacing, the transitions, and even the lyrical themes, all of them blow my mind. One of the most creative and imaginative tracks I can think of, and nothing can top this, as the most special and most exceptional track I've heard in 2023, hands down. And that's gonna be with my 50 favorite songs of 2023. What were your favorite tracks out of this year? Let me know down in the comments. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.